What's good, peeps? What is good? All right, let's get straight into this video because there were so many fights on the weekend, so many. I haven't seen them all. I've seen highlights of quite a lot, but there is loads to discuss, the good, the bad, and the bloody ugly, and there was a lot of ugly on the weekend. Before we do that though, quick one. I played American football on the weekend and got smashed to pieces. I thought I'd tell you that. Smashed, like destroyed. Like my body is killing me. So I and a few other people are doing like this thing for the NFL. Obviously the NFL's coming here in a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks time. So we had to do a training session with this this football team over here called the London Blitz. And those guys, yeah, are fucking monsters. So I get there and I'm not small, but I'm not big anyway. I'm like, what am I, 14 stone? Some of these guys were walking in and I was like, yo, you didn't tell me it was this. Some of these guys were like 6'4", 6'5", 20 plus stone, easy. But the thing is, they moved like they were 14 stone. So one guy, I thought, oh, I'm going to take him on the outs. Like, just give me the ball, I'm going to run. I saw him coming and I was like, how's he catching up to me? And then I tried to cut in, smash me to pieces. On the floor, looked at me on the floor, couldn't say anything to him because I was half dead. And I was like, yo. So yeah, that was a training session. We got a real game in 2 weeks. Pray for me. I tell you that story because I need your prayers. You know what? Yeah, we might go all over the place in this video just because there was so many fights. But I'm thinking of the ones that made a lasting impression in my head. You know, the one that like really made a lasting impression was Sam Eggington, and not for a good reason. I've been watching Sam Eggington fight now for, like most of you, because he kind of burst onto the scene, didn't he? For the last sort of 6 or 7 years. And he has been having those type of fights for the last 6 or 7 years. Now, I want to say he needs to change his style, but evidently he's not going to change his style. That's just the way he fights. And that scares me. Because it doesn't scare me for now. It scares me for what the future is going to be like for Sam Eggington. He literally has a war all the time. And fans might enjoy it. Fans might be like, oh, he gives us value for money, which is all well and good. I'm thinking of his health. I'm thinking of his health, and it scares me to think what Sam Eggington's going to be like in 10 years. Bear in mind, he's only 27 now. Every single fight seems to be like that with Sam. And I'm thinking, just move your fucking head, please. Why do you have to have a tear up all the time? I've seen this. I've seen guys have things like this and it doesn't last. And it's not a case of your career doesn't last, because that's all well and good. I'm talking about your health. Your health. I've met ex-boxers and you hate to say it because look, this sport is dangerous. You see them slurring their words, like their speech is really slow. And I'm thinking, every time I see a Sam Eggington fight, all I picture is him in 10 years' time, and it's not a good picture. Look, he won, and good luck to him. And this is not me having a dig at him because look, that's just the way he fights. But as someone that's a fan of Sam Eggington, I just want to see him try something. Like, please just like switch trainers, do something different. Please just move your head. And why does every fight have to be that? Or maybe that's how he has to win. Maybe that's what it needs for him to win. Maybe he's just, if he doesn't have that shootout and it's not mano, he's not going to get the victory. And it's crazy because in the lead up to this fight, Sky had been showing, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago when he fought that guy from Tanzania. Do you remember that? And the guy beat him at one of the biggest upsets over here in the last 10 years. And I would have thought, okay, that would have been the lesson. Like, all right, we're not going to fight like that anymore. We've got to do something else. And no, he continues to fight like that. It's crazy. It really is. Again, there's so many fights on the weekend. Hrgovic fought against, no disrespect if I say nobody, but you know what I mean by that. Like, they've just got to put him in with someone now. And some of you might say, yeah, but Ade, everyone's scared of him. They're not scared of him. Just pay the right heavyweights the right amount of money. They'll get him with him. They really will. I guess the thing is, how much, like, is Hrgovic a draw? I don't know. Like, in his country, is he a draw? Like, if you fight Hrgovic in his country, is he filling out an arena or a small stadium? Like, is it worth the money? Because there are heavyweights that would fight him. Like, when I think of a triangle of fights I would love to see, Tony Yoka's in that. Obviously, Yoka fought as well. Joe Joyce is in that. And I feel like I want to see those three mix up with each other. Joe Joyce is probably further afield than the other two. But let's not forget, Tony Yoka is an Olympic gold medalist. Like, he's legit. I like Yoka. I really do. I think he's really good with his work. He's built like a modern day heavyweight, but not as muscular. So I think he's more slick with his punches. I like him a lot. And I would love to see, in fact, they were supposed to fight about a year and a half ago for the European title. This is Hrgovic and Yoka, but I guess the pandemic happened and it didn't happen. But that's a fight I'd love to see. But for Hrgovic, they need to put him in with someone. I mean, one of the knockdowns on the weekend, I had to rewind it about 10 times thinking, did he even land a punch? So Hrgovic needs a fight. Yoka needs a fight. For me, it's a perfect matchup. It really is. And Joe Joyce can get in that mix as well. Although Sam Jones, we heard from him the other day, he wants either Joseph Parker or Luis Ortiz for Joe Joyce next. Those are better fights, really, for him. I mean, Hrgovic is a very dangerous fight. So is Yoka. So I think he's got the beating now of Ortiz and Joseph Parker. So I think those are good ways to go. All right. What should we talk about? Should we talk about Evander Holyfield, 58, in the ring? I think so. Yeah, my blood boils when I see that shit. Honestly, my blood boils. My blood boiled when he was announced as the replacement for Oscar De La Hoya. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And B, it got even worse when I saw him do the pad workout. You guys might have seen it, the open session pad workout. And it was, look, who am I to kind of critique one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but it was horrendous. And from that alone, you're thinking, all right, stop this nonsense. Like this circus bullshit needs to stop, but no. And let's not forget as well, he couldn't pass his medical in one state, right? One state were like, no, Evander, you're not fighting. They moved it to another state where another commission would sanction him. Boxing is a disgrace, Boxing's a crazy sport. It literally is the fucking wild, wild west. How are you letting a 58-year-old who couldn't pass a medical go to another state and then they sanction it and they let him fight is beyond me. It really is. Like, when's the fucking light bulb moment going to happen in boxing to the point where everyone just gets together around the table and is like, okay, we need to clean this shit up? You would think that the light bulb moment would be when someone dies in the ring, right? That would be the light bulb moment. A young girl died in the ring a couple of weeks ago. Surely that would be the moment where everyone's like, okay, let's all come together here. Like, this sport's dangerous. We know it's dangerous, right? And boxers understand the dangers of the sport. Every boxer goes in the ring and they lose a little bit. Now, how good you are. Like, Floyd is one of the best defensive fighters we've ever seen. Floyd has lost a little bit. I go back and watch Floyd interviews of 25 years ago and he was sharp. His talking was sharp. You go and watch Floyd interviews now, he has slowed down. Even he, the best defensive fighter we've ever seen, right? Up there with Pernell Whitaker. Even he, the damage he took is telling, it's lasting. So a young girl dies in the ring. You'll think that would be the moment for everyone to say, let's clean up the sport. Enough's enough. It really is enough. But no, it isn't. You let a 58-year-old fight Vitor Belfort, right? And you let Tito Ortiz, who looked embarrassing, fight Anderson Silva, and you're having these embarrassing matchups. But yeah, everyone would dig at YouTube and say, oh, the YouTubers are spoiling the sport. They're not spoiling the sport. The commissions, the corrupt judges, the sanctioning bodies, they're spoiling the sport. The matchmakers, they're spoiling the sport, not the YouTubers. Jake Paul is young, he's healthy, he's taking the sport serious. He's not spoiling the sport. 58-year-old Evander Holyfield getting in the ring is spoiling the sport. It's honestly, it's a disgrace. It really is. And then you've got Robson Conceicao, Oscar Valdez. Like, if you're Robson Conceicao, you're waking up and you're fucking livid. You're livid. You won the fight. You won the fight clearly. There's no other reason he didn't win that fight apart from corruption. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything else. I'm not going to get into it because you know where I feel about this. He won the fight. So not only did he get robbed, Oscar Valdez cheated in the lead up to the fight with that amphetamine drug. And you're thinking, wait a minute. Like how, the fight shouldn't have even happened. But then if it happens, okay, cool. Give me a fair shake. That's all I asked for. Give me a fair fucking shake. You can't do that. I lose the fight. Oscar Valdez is like, why did you run away? Oscar Valdez had the cheek to say to Robson Conceicao, why did you run away? Did you see Oscar Valdez's face? It looked like he got hit by someone and he got hit by Robson Conceicao. Now, if you're Robson Conceicao, like people might say, you know how long it takes to get back to that position where you're making good money? You know how long it's going to take Robson Conceicao? No one's going to want to fight him. Remember, this is an Olympic gold medalist, slick boxer, will embarrass you. He's not a name, he's not a draw. Why are you fighting him for? He's going to have to work his way up to mandatory spot. That's what he's going to have to do. And when he even gets to a mandatory spot, it'll be a 85-15 split on the money. So then he's going to have to win the title from someone and then he might get a paycheck. You know how long that is? Boxing fucking makes me sick sometimes. It really does. Makes me sick. All right, let's just go through some stories before I smash this fucking laptop. Vitor Belfort, Canelo will not fight me at 185. I promise you, he will not fight. Oh, fuck off. You beat Vitor Belfort. You beat a 58-year-old. Breathe, Ade. You beat a 58-year-old Evander Holyfield, but Canelo will not fight you. Stop the sell, man. You're not. I'm not buying what you're selling. Park it. Anthony Joshua praises Jake Paul. He's great for boxing. Good luck to him. Let's move on from that. What's this? Amir Khan to stage special Dubai card on October 16th with special WBC crypto. Next. Teofimo Lopez sees no point in having a rematch with Lomachenko. Oh, I do. There's a big point to it because it's a big fight. It's a massive fight. And we have to be very honest about it. He's not going to fight Ryan Garcia because this is how the sport is. He's not going to fight Devin Haney. He's not going to fight Gervonta Davis. So you might as well fight Loma. You might as well fight Loma because you're not fighting anyone else. Because they're not going to fight you because it's impossible to make a good fight now in boxing. It's impossible. What a joke. He's right. That's that. You know what? He's right. I see no point in it because he won the first fight. Now, I see no point in it, although I'd love the rematch if the next opponent would be Gervonta Davis, if Ryan Garcia, if Devin Haney, but it won't be. After Kambosos, it won't be. So fight Loma. Fuck's sake. David Haye shakes head at Vitor Belfort. What's impressive about knocking out a 58-year-old? Yeah, agreed. Like Vitor after was almost like he fucking beat King Kong. You beat Evander Holyfield, dude. As for David Haye, I mean, you fought your friend. Like, how crazy is boxing? David Haye fought his friend. And there were so many times in that fight, David Haye could have knocked him out. Like, literally, he was David Haye was holding back on the right hand. And I'm like, good luck to him, right? I mean, you're cheating the fans, but oh well, like, you're getting paid to do it. But now David Haye's talking about fighting Tyson Fury. Dude, we saw you fight Tony Bellew. That was the legit you. And you couldn't do it. Your body broke down. Like, I don't mind David Haye, by the way, having these other little, if you want to do it, fight other former fighters and make some money, Tarver, Shannon Briggs, but don't call out the lineal champ, the #1 heavyweight in the world after you just beat Joe Fernier. This sport, man. This sport. Oscar Valdez calls out winner of Shakur Stevenson versus Jamal Herring. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's almost like Robson Conceicao is just going to be forgotten. Like, literally, he got robbed, and that's it. Doesn't matter. You're forgotten, dude. No one's going to care. Like, he might get back there again. Like, Yordenis Ugas, like some people say, like, he got robbed against Sean Paul, although it wasn't blatant as this. Eventually got there, didn't he? He had like 4 or 5 fights against, quote unquote nobodies. Eventually got there again. Luckily, the way the gods worked for him, and now he's world champion. So he will get there again, but you just get forgotten. Like, we might scream and shout like I'm doing now, but it will be forgotten. He'll fight the winner of Shakur Stevenson versus Jamal Herring. It'll be a unification fight. 3 belts on the line? Everyone forget. Was it 3 or 2? I can't remember. Bit here about Bob Arum. Plans to announce Crawford versus Porter for November 20th at Mandalay Bay. Obviously, that was going to go purse bids. It isn't going purse bids anymore. They've obviously agreed on a split. Good fight. Good fight. Happy. Very happy. Why am I reading all this Vitor Belfort shit? Triller execs call out Jake Paul for $30 million winner takes all fight in November. Boxing is in a crazy space right now, It really is. It's in a weird space as well. Like these, like even Evander's now talking about, I want Mike Tyson. The fight will stop too early, and I'm like, see, when Mike Tyson had that fight against Roy Jones, I was up for it and I liked it because Mike looked good and Roy's got good hands. Mike looked good. When I saw the pad work, I was like, yo. When I saw Evander's pad work, and I was like, oh, come on, man, this needs to stop. But it's not gonna stop because there's too much money. Like Triller talking about, we'll give Jake Paul $30 million to fight Vitor Belfort. Like, what has happened to this sport? It's almost like these people have seen like a gap in the market, and that gap in the market has come because boxing's killing itself by the fights that we want to see not happening. And that's what it is. So you get these circus acts that have almost just seen like, oh, you know what? Fans are so desperate for something, we could give them this garbage and they're going to eat it up and lap it up. Like if boxing just gave us the fights we wanted to get, I'm not joking, I don't think any of this would happen. It's kind of happened in the past, but not to this extent. Like this is now getting silly. Like whether, I don't know if you guys agree with that at all, but it's getting silly now. Like there's just so much bullshit. But yet we're not getting the fights we want. I just mentioned Hrgovic up there at the top. Why ain't Hrgovic fighting Tony Yoka or Joe Joyce? Hrgovic's fighting that guy that he knocked over in like... Anyway, I don't know. He had like Donald Trump fucking commentating on it. And now they're trying to say, I think the Triller exec, what's his name, Ryan Kavanaugh, is that his name, was talking about we're going to get a Barack Obama to commentate on the next one. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anything else? Yeah, see Gabriel Flores. Did you see that as well? Remember, Gabriel Flores was legit, you know, and he got stopped, bro. No, he got embarrassed. What's happened? What's happened to him? I need to go back and watch that fight properly. I don't even know, dude. There was too much stuff going on. You know what we might do, yeah? Because this was just clearly me ranting. What we might do is a live. We might do a live. Might do it tonight, you know. I finish what I'm doing early tonight. We might do it tonight and then we'll go on. But this was just a rant. So apologies for the rant, people. Peace.